There is a massive problem in the LEGO community, and it has gone on for many, many years. And unfortunately, as time has gone on, it has become a lot more dominant in the space. It is further ongoing. It doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. And with the rate it is going at, it's probably going to get a lot worse before it gets better, if it ever does. Before we go ahead with the video, I'm going to ask you to leave a like and subscribe. Even if you end up not liking the video, leave a dislike, as engagement really helps out the channel. So unfortunately, this issue has gone on in the LEGO community for a very, very long time, and it does happen in many other communities as well, as LEGO is a highly sought after collectible product. Most of you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but I've talked about it in microdoses on the channel before, and it is simply scalping. For those aren't familiar with what scalping is, it's often when a lot of grown-ass men that have nothing better to do with their lives, that have no job, try to make money off of something they love, usually. Oftentimes, they don't even love it, but they know that there's a market in it, and they want to take advantage of that. This used to be a big issue with music concerts. So if The Weeknd or Drake came to town, and you wanted to go see them, and all the tickets sell out immediately, and you still really, really want to go, you're going to have to pay the secondhand market price. The more sought after the item, then the higher the price is going to be. Luckily, thanks to the digital space, this problem is a lot less prominent, but it has now moved on to collecting. You often see this with Pokemon the most. You will have guys that will buy every single available pack that might be exclusive or up for a limited time, and then they will go on eBay immediately and resell them for double or triple the price. And this happens a lot with LEGO. When the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic happened, many people revisited old hobbies that they might have abandoned or grew out of back when they were younger. So this is why most collectibles in general are just more expensive nowadays, especially for LEGO. The LEGO Star Wars community has inflated a lot of the prices on a lot of the... Pretty much everything across the board has been inflated. I was going to say a specific thing, but then I realized, no, it's like almost everything. But to give you a more specific example, we will look at the classic Phase 1 Clone Trooper from 2002. So I got a good amount of these right before they got super, super expensive. And though I would love to own more of them, the current market price for them today is about $20 US a pop. Used, might add you. And often on sites like Bricklink, when a seller has an item that is in good condition, they don't list it as used. They'll often list something that's in mediocre to pretty good condition as new. But if something is severely damaged or there's something wrong with it, they will list it as used. So if you want to get one of these guys in a guaranteed good condition, then it's going to cost you $30 US a figure. And you might argue that these were only in a couple of sets back in 2002 and were never used again, and therefore it makes sense that they've inflated this high, to which I wholeheartedly disagree with. While yes, naturally, as hobbies and interests continue, things are going to get higher and higher in value, especially as things break, as things get lost, stolen, you get it. Many years ago on Bricklink, there was a custom minifigure manufacturer named the Minifig Co. If you're in the LEGO Star Wars community, then you know who these guys are, and if you're not, then let's just say that most people don't like them. That entity, that custom minifigure site, went ahead onto Bricklink, and probably some other sites as well that we didn't notice, and completely wiped the entire market for these Phase 1 2002 Clone Troopers. Luckily, there are now many on Bricklink again, but for a time these were pretty scarce. They did something similar with Jango Fett. I remember back in the day, the 2002 Jango Fett minifigure, for many, many years, it was around $70 to $80. It was always expensive, but it wasn't like atrocious. And it made sense why it was expensive. It had exclusive printing, it had exclusive colors that no other minifigure had. Of course, the helmet is there too. And it's an all-around fantastic minifigure. It might be my favorite. It's certainly up there. And keep in mind, when I said $70 to $80, I meant in Canadian dollars, so that's really like about 50 or 40 bucks. And for a while, it made sense while this minifigure was going up in value, as LEGO has made a very limited number of Jango Fett minifigures, and really up until this year, they haven't even made a Jango Fett Slave 1 since Attack of the Clones came out. But once again, the Minifig Co. went ahead and bought a lot of them. which set many fans into frenzies, which caused the prices to go up, and this encouraged other people to start buying a bunch of them as well, and you understand the cycle. Now, after everything I just said, you're probably saying right now, hey, Ignition, this is just limited to Star Wars. It makes sense because Star Wars is an iconic, popular brand, especially at the time. And I would say, yeah, you're definitely right. But now it's starting to affect the niche brands. Most of you probably recognize this Bionicle mask, but in case you're not a Bionicle fan, this is the medium blue Mask of Strength, otherwise known as the Pakari. This is a very, very common mask. Ever since I started collecting secondhand Bionicle, I have rounded up about 20 of them now. If you buy a lot or a haul off of Marketplace, you're most likely probably going to get this mask, as it was available in 2 retail sets and within the mask packs. It's so common that I even got given one for free from a Bricklink order, just because the guy had so many of them. You're probably wondering why someone would want to buy this mask. Well, while it being a very pretty mask, many people buy more than one of these to build the 2001 version of one of the original main protagonists of Bionicle, Takua. Now, he does have a 2003 retail set, but that was when they redesigned the character. And honestly, on Bricklink, you can find it for pretty cheap still, but we're catching an issue early on before it gets worse. So, a month ago, hell, for years, if someone wanted to buy one of these from me, I would sell it for 25 or 50 cents. Like, it's that common. Now, it has gone up a little bit over the years, but again, not by much. Like, the cheapest on Bricklink is $1 Canadian, which is about 75 cents. Now, let's say you want to buy a couple of these. So you go into Bricklink and you set the quantity to highest so you can see which seller has the most of these. And surprise, surprise, the one with the most of these is selling them for 10 USD each. Granted, they do say in new condition, but if you remember what I said earlier, with Bricklink market seller logic, new quote-unquote really just translates to how it should be if you bought it from a lot or something. If you are charging me 10 US dollars for a very, very common Bionicle part, I expect there to be 0 nicks, 0 scratches or scuffs whatsoever, which is fucking impossible, because guess what? When Lego is sold, it is placed into a little plastic bag that is sealed with all the other parts, and when it gets shipped and moved, all those parts scratch up against each other anyway. Really, what's determined as new when it comes to Bionicle is if it's straight out of the packaging. And I doubt all of these are straight out of the fucking packaging. Because guess what? If that's true, then he should be reselling almost 300 Takua and Puku sets. He'd make way more money. So I'm going to throw this part into the video here. Don't go and harass anybody I just mentioned. That's not cool. It makes me look bad. It makes you look bad. It makes people that don't like scalping look bad. You don't want to bring us down to their level, so just don't do that. The best way to combat scalping is to not pay for fucking insane prices. I've said this probably almost 100 times in my 70-something videos on the channel, including reels, by the way. Go subscribe. If there is a Lego item that you really, really want, and there happens to be a trend or something that makes the item that you want really, really expensive, or if it's just straight up scalping, just have a little patience, especially if it's an older item. If you want it for this long, then you're probably going to want it when it's cheaper. When it comes down in price, everything will come down eventually. Patience is a virtue. Or if you don't really care if it's official, like if there's a really great knockoff, or if there's a custom manufacturer that makes these perfectly or very, very similarly. So like with the Bionicle mask, for instance, you can hire a resin caster to make you any mask you want. It doesn't even have to be in any official color. It can be whatever color you want. Same when it comes to custom minifigures. Many people will be inspired by older official figures. Sometimes they'll improve them. Sometimes they'll change it up. Sometimes they'll make a straight up replica and you can just buy the replica. And no one will know that it's fake except for you. And if you end up owning it for a while and you still want that official one, then that's just your placeholder, and then you can resell that placeholder. Just do yourself a favor, like, again, even for stuff outside of Lego, don't feed into BS like this, because the only reason these guys get away with doing this shit is if we allow them to by buying their crap. If you're someone trying to buy the medium blue Pakari, And you don't even like how the other shops have listed their prices to accommodate to this guy amping up the price. Just ask around your local bionicle community, whether you have friends in real life that are into it as well, see if they have any extras. Trading is key, saves everybody some money. You can always go into Discord on many community servers like the Ignition Zone server, where you can buy, sell, and trade your parts. See if anyone's selling it for you. Hell, if you hit me up, I'll sell you one. Shipping will probably suck because I'm in Canada. Just remember, you got options. And really, at the end of the day, none of this shit is worth anything until you pay for it. This marks the end of the video. If you want to stick around, I'm going to talk about a little update for the channel. The next guest on Toa Talk is going to be Isaac Miner, otherwise known as Bionicle Revised. I haven't locked down a date yet with him, just because I'm still working my way through the series myself. I just finished book 1 last night, and I'm already 4 chapters deep into book 2. I just want to make sure I have all of my knowledge ready for the podcast. Because otherwise, if I have him on and I don't know my shit, then what's the point? So while I'm cranking my way through LAT, I'm working on a digital short for the channel. This is definitely a little bit of an ambitious project, but if the process works out well and it's feasible, I'm going to do a lot more of these in the future. I recently did some voice acting for Get to the Point for his upcoming 3D animated short, so make sure to go check that out. Check out his channel. I'll definitely post it on my community tab when the short is out, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.